Alex Answer here. It is November 29th in the year 2017, coming to you from Southwest Colorado. I am now home. It was like a scene out of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I found myself going somewhere in which I did not properly line up the accommodations, and things could have been more complicated than what they were. So I am back in Southwest Colorado via Vegas. I actually paid $20 for a Craigslist rideshare to get out of San Diego and into Las Vegas. I have a lot of video which I'll be uploading later, but I just wanted to make this announcement now that already this soon I'm already back. It seemed that most of the budget was towards Greyhound. Most of the time was spent on Greyhound. It was yesterday that I left Las Vegas at 1:30 in the morning after spending a few hours on the Strip with my friend Jared. That was in Las Vegas from Southern California. That was great. We barely gambled. We didn't drink. We walked around the Mandalay Bay. We walked around the famous site of the shooting. We walked around other places. In Las Vegas, we recorded hours of podcasts. He was a lot like my friend Ethan to a certain degree. We had a lot in common. It was time for me to come back early. It was time to come back with gratitude. It was time to reflect on my thinking, my negative thinking, and the need to correct my negative thinking regarding my home. Okay, I'm really grateful to be where I am. I said some things about feeling like a suspect in my own hometown. That was nothing compared to how that would feel in the larger world, in Las Vegas, in Los Angeles, which I didn't spend much time, but specifically San Diego. People just knowing there's something different about you. People wondering if you're like the other homeless that are wandering around. Things of that nature. People know when there's someone different around. But unfortunately, in this day and age, they just treat that with suspicion. So there's a fair amount of budget traveling. I was able to keep the bills under a certain amount. I learned a lot of things. There's a lot of advice that I can give someone if they're going to ride Greyhound. And in some situations, you don't want to take Greyhound if there are other options. But in this day and age, there are only so many options within the United States for budget traveling, outside of having your own car and outside of getting a ride and outside of taking an airplane, which I'm not a big fan of. So I embarked on an adventure that would change my life for the better. And I just didn't think that my quote unquote vacation would have come with so many interesting twists. And how drained I would be in mind, body, and spirit in carrying around a piece of luggage with the wheels not even properly working. I strained myself carrying around that luggage. And I found myself, after living off the grid in one of the most beautiful, beautiful parts of this planet. Okay, people are going to be the way that they are just because of the culture and the mind control and the programming and the social media addiction. That's everywhere. I don't look at people's racial background and go, oh yeah, yeah, they're good, they're bad. It's really about those that are on the conscious wavelength. They're dividing themselves in the have and have-nots. And I'll be talking about this more. It was really about the have and have-nots, or it was really about those well-adjusted to a sick society and those not well-adjusted to a sick society. That is a way better way to put it than getting diverted into racial tensions and things of that nature. It's those that are well-adjusted to this society and those that are not. I think there are improvements that should be made in the society. If those improvements cannot be made in a society with the ivory towers, where the diamond ring and the bling bling is number one, if that is not an environment that which we can change, that we need to rebuild, if you will, our communities, our social structures, things of that nature on our own, because we are creators. We have the ability to manifest. I have the ability to manifest the most amazing things. I manifested a ride out of San Diego for $20. I manifested a decent day or two in Vegas, but I also saw the dark side without getting too close. We're just talking about the street life in downtown Las Vegas as opposed to the Strip. And then it almost seemed that God was there, the Creator was there to show me something decent, to be given a nice ride in um, in a decent car, which I wasn't expecting, with a decent guy who's known me for multiple years. He's been a Facebook contact for over 5 years. And to be able to meet one of you, to be able to meet a listener, to be able to meet a fan, and to have a great time, and to end the night on a hug as he dropped me off at the bus station. And I was so nervous last night. Again, back in Greyhound and dealing with all that ghetto energy and all those ghetto employees at the Las Vegas Greyhound station. This was an experience like no other. My voice is hoarse as much dust and potential other contaminants from Las Vegas made their way into my lungs in the many hours in which I did not have a hotel. I had to wait for a hotel room to be open because I got dropped off in Vegas 4 o'clock in the morning with a piece of luggage that I can barely wheel around. Now, when you got homeless people looking at you going, "What's up with that dude?" then you definitely got a bad piece of luggage. Know what I mean? I learned some things, folks. I also would say that I overpacked by about 50%. And that was a needless strain on my body. The good news is, and I'm going to end this now, and tomorrow there'll be some uploads. I'd like to see Colorado more. I have registration and insurance and a working vehicle. We have snow coming in soon. But as far as future trips, future road trips, the state of Colorado, Denver aside, Colorado Springs aside, my general area, my county, these are things to be explored more. Hiking, the appreciation of nature. And see, that's the thing. It can get boring for some people to see mountains and trees and to feel the silence. It's not so boring once you leave the environment free of the smart meters, free of the cell phone towers, free of a land free of bars on every corner full of dozens of flat screen TVs, to go from my environment into multiple different bellies of the beast with 666 all around, with the all-seeing eye all around, with all types of symbolism and power structures all around. Now my body is here to heal from what I've been exposed to. I'll be back with more.